Hey everyone, it's Rotana and Arnold, the co-founder of the New ABC, and we are here in the episode 14 of the New ABC show. And today we have, as every week, a question: what difficulty are you experiencing in being anticipatory? So first, what does it mean being anticipatory, Arnold?
Well, actually, we're most in a lot of our we are in our behavior. In a lot of our behavior, we are reactive. So something happens, and then we react to that. And that has been a normal response in when things go rather slow. Yeah, when things take months and years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter whether I react today or tomorrow, because that particular trend will be there for the next few years.
Yeah.
But that works in a time where change is rather slow and not much things happening. But when you look at the market of today, the changes are extremely rapidly. So if I react to something like, oh, maybe we should be on Twitter or on social media, and I think about that today, and I have an approach, well, let's take a few months to work out how to do that and what our strategy is there. By the way, this is an example what I heard yesterday. A guy said, maybe I should go on Twitter and maybe I should work that out. It was a social enterprise. Okay. So if it takes months and months, well, number one, it is reactive. Number two, you're extremely late because, well, already Twitter exists for 5 years or something like it, maybe even longer. And by the time his response is ready, maybe Twitter already might have become totally obsolete, and people are flocking to another platform. So the reactive strategy, that's what I'm saying, is no longer working. So in everything that you do, you have to be anticipatory and look like what new things are going to happen and how am I going to respond to that? Because then you can be earlier.
Yeah. What is the next thing?
Yeah. And then and define that now. And with that code, now let's bring it back to what we do. We teach life skills. Yeah. And think about the job market. Every year in countries like India and China, there are more engineers graduating than there are in total engineers in the Western world.
Yeah.
So these people are extremely high educated. They're very, very eager to get jobs. And most likely they will be much, much cheaper than people in the Western world. So you know that it's going to happen because it's just demographics. And so being anticipatory means, oh, wow, I have to compete with those guys.
Yeah.
And as we are moving very rapidly towards a global workforce, it means like, hey, how can I make sure that I'm better qualified than all these engineers in India and China? And what we think is, if you really make sure it's not only your knowledge, but you have done your volunteering work, you create a lot of experience, and you gained your life skills, then you are in a very good position to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Build your portfolio of projects and results and keep learning life skills.
Yeah, so that means being anticipatory is like, oh, hey, I know this is going to happen, so I have to make sure that I'm in a good position now.
Yeah, so see and build your future. We'll discuss that later, but it's really rated. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with that first insight and wisdom from you, Arnold, let's move to other news from the New ABC.
Yeah, let's first focus on customer-related work, which is really progressing. And I did send our proposal for the Pest County today, which is a collaboration between ourselves and Binovative, which is working very, very well. So we think we send a very interesting pilot proposal to start with a pilot with the university.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We have to wait for the reactions, but it looks extremely promising, and it's also very helpful to work on such a project for ourselves, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks very good, and again, I'm sure that it will be helpful for the students in this university. We will discover that.
Yeah, next one is our project with Bushra and a team in Tanger in Morocco. Maybe you can explain a little bit about that.
Sure, we build these online courses, you and me, per life skills. So on the 24 life skills, well, we have how many categories?
We got 10 categories.
10 categories, yeah. But what we did, we shared these online courses that we did via YouTube to the Tangier Morocco community, because Bushra is a teacher, global, I would say, community manager or leader in this local city, and they have already students who are really learning animals, as we said. So meaning that they would love, they're already learning life skills via Bushra, their teacher. At the same time, they would love to find other ways to propel the development of life skills. But at the same time, we think that it's not just about online courses, it's also about building community, because they already have a community with this leader that is a Bushra, and meaning that we need to build a program with them, to workshops, to any activities that blend online and offline activities, where the purpose again is to help these young students, which are between which age, Arnold? 18 and 35, something like this?
Yeah, something like that. It's a rather broad category, but very talented people, absolutely.
Yeah, they work in logistics, they are just fresh graduates, but more than that, they need to survive in this crazy world with learning new life skills, for finding a meaningful job or creating even their own job, because they need English, they need for instance creativity, but they need also to communicate themselves, to build their own future. So that's crucial life skills that they would love to develop. Simple as that.
Yeah, and we're really co-creating
that part,
approach to help that community out of their current situation. And well, when you talk about being anticipatory, that's what we try to work with them and say, hey, create an environment and let them be ready for what is coming. And well, it looks very promising, and we're really, really grateful to be of support to that community.
Yeah, and Bushra is also part of our webinar now. We will have, by the way, another one tomorrow on which topic, Arnold? Giving subsistence to refugees, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Mario Linson will discuss this. He is ready for something like 20, 30 years working with foreigners who move into another country and dealing with other cultures and practices and habits, and really, really looking forward to that.
Yeah. And again, we have this bi-weekly webinar series. That's how you can also be anticipatory, because you're seeing emerging trends and practices. Well, 2 weeks ago, we had also hype with AI and robotization. Plus, we had also, in the context of the climate change conference, the COP21, with Mukesh, his intervention. But again, all these topics are there for helping you to discuss and learn with us, and also already design your own practices, So talking about that, let's move to another topic, which is the website, Arnold.
Yeah, well, as we speak, the website is being finalized by Tamarsh, and we have still some technology challenges, but we hope it will be ready, today or over the weekend, that's for sure, and that we can launch it via a newsletter which we already have been designing. So
absolutely,
in that way, it'll use that as a method to communicate with the people, because we have been building up quite an audience already, and that means that we decided that putting some names in the spreadsheet is it's good. We put in a lot of effort in that, actually, but now we say, well, this is just becoming too much. So we decided to move into a CRM system. Maybe you can explain to our folks what the CRM system is.
CRM just stands for customized relationship management, but more than that, it's about having and building relationship, human relationship with prospect customers, partners, evangelists of the new ABC, and using also smart and modern ways of using data that are useful for us and for people, because if you want to introduce someone when you're in a meetup or even in the Skype or Hangout chat, that's how you need to be responsive and use with regard of privacy and also respect from people this data, So that's why you need CRM like HubSpot. We're using this tool now instead of using just Sheet, because you and me are not Excel guys, for instance, but we think that when you're on the go or from any device or any places, you can have these tools for just engaging with people or also finding information, because that's what lean startup, where we are more lean on profit now, are using. No, otherwise you're wasting time and you're not efficient.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And when you talk about partners, one of our partners, which looks like really a partner, we look with partners. We really look for people who are open to co-creation, because co-creation is really ingrained in our culture. Yeah. And we had this week a call with the chief scientist of Play Dexter. Check them out. Play Dexter's Play DXTR. And they're really working on some very interesting cubes which will measure your child's progress in sense of activity and development. But we are discussing now and say, hey, maybe we can create something which is also suitable for adults. So we agreed on getting a brainstorm session between some of our people and their team, and together say, hey, how can we create something which is very, very useful for where it's not only talking or reading or whatever, but it's something where you can use your hands to really show your progress and your learning capabilities. So that's really exciting. And last but not least, we very hard started working. We shared last week that we decided to move in as a non-profit, and this week we started. Okay, how are we going to do that? Where are we going to do it? And all these kind of things. And one of the approaches which we took is that we are connecting with banks, but maybe you can share a little bit of our experience in doing that, because we're already learning a lot by approaching them.
Well, you work also previously on another project on the future of online banking, and again we are more focused on the private banking and wealth management, I would say department or that's it, teams from these banks, so global banks. And as we read this report from BNP Paribas Wealth Management, we learn a lot, you and me actually, on what are the trends, what are the practices of philanthrope and also advisor in this field. And we just get in touch directly with these people, these different banks, via Twitter or some simple as that, via their website or email that we can find. And then we start to engage in conversation. And through this process, we noticed that some private banks are really using smart and modern way for interacting with their prospect and customers. But at the same time, we also discovered that there are already many advice and networks in this field. So we already get in touch with some people in different parts of the world to discuss how we can just learn about this process and propel this application for being a non-profit, simple as that.
Yeah, and to conclude, we started out like the life skill being anticipatory. If you look at, for instance, one of the banks, which was HSBC, one of the biggest banks in the world, well, they are very far from being anticipatory, because they're using social media just to promote their old way of doing and say, well, just call this number and hopefully we'll be able to help you. So. And that is not being anticipatory. That's far from that. So that's typically something which shows to us that you're still living in the industrial age, and we don't want to work with that. So it's really and maybe what they think is we're very modern because we use social media. Yeah, well, you only use social media as a channel to promote your old ways of doing. So and not only us will experience that, but many people. So. You think it's a small thing, but it's actually a big thing, because it says a lot about your culture and it says a lot about your being now proof or being future proof.
Yeah. People hire and just engage through their customer services through these public social media channels these days. Of course, they're using also HubSpot or any other CRM, but be aware that they are there too. So use this tool and build this culture with your team too. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so that was it for this week.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to some of you joining us tomorrow in the webinar with Mario.
Yeah, at 10:30 a.m. CT. Yeah, on Hangout.
So really looking forward to that, and have a great weekend and a super week.
Yeah, the same. Bye-bye.
Bye.